Welcome to my vlog on a 4-day trip to Bahrain. My uncle picked us from the airport. On the way, we saw this iconic twin tower, which is the Bahrain World Trade Center. It is the world's first skyscraper with the wind turbines integrated into its design. Passing by many other landmark buildings like Al Fateh Grand Mosque, Al Ghudaybiyah Palace, Gulf Hotel, etc., we drove towards his house in Mahouz in Manama. We reached the house, relaxed for some time, and post lunch we started for the sightseeing. The plan was to drive to the Al Jazeera beach on the western coast of Bahrain. Bahrain is a sovereign state in the Persian Gulf. The island nation comprises of a small archipelago of 40 natural and 51 artificial islands. It is the third smallest nation in Asia after Maldives and Singapore, with Manama as the capital city. Noticed a big promotional banner of a racing event fixed across the road. As the Bahrain International Circuit was located close by, we decided to visit the stadium. It is a motorsport venue opened in 2004, used for drag racing, GP2 series, and the annual Bahrain Grand Prix. We resumed our journey, and in 10 minutes we reached the Al Jazeera beach. It was a very nice spot with clean, clear, and shallow waters, especially for children like me to paddle in. The leafless trees on the beach presented a unique ambience. Enjoyed ample time playing there till the sunset. After the sunset, we drove to the Bahrain Fort, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The archaeological findings in the site revealed that the site was occupied since 2300 BC till the 18th century by various invaders like the Greeks, Portuguese, Persians, etc. The present fort dates from the 6th century and was once the capital of the Dilmun civilization, which is one of the oldest Middle East civilizations and contains valuable insights into the Copper and Bronze Ages of Bahrain. With this, we ended our first day in Bahrain. On the second day, we had planned a very exciting adventure out in the sea. It was to watch the dolphins up close in their natural habitat. So we headed to Al Dar Island office in Sitra. These are massive storage tanks of Bahrain Petroleum Company in Sitra, owned by the Bahrain administration. We reached the Al Dar office, took the ticket for the dolphin watch in a speedboat. A van took us from the Al Dar office to the boat jetty, and we got into the boat. It was a very thrilling and fun-filled experience on the speedboat. At a distance, we could spot the Al Dar Islands. Actually, Al Dar is a small island off the eastern coast of Bahrain. The driver was a Keralite and he ensured entertaining us with a good zigzag ride in the speedboat. Though we were expecting a grand view of a pod of dolphins porpoising out in the sea, we could only spot a few glimpses of dolphins moving just above the surface here and there. There were two huge oil tankers anchored in the sea, one belonging to the United Arab Chemical Carriers or UACC and another with the name Al Habiba registered at Jeddah. The economy of Bahrain is heavily dependent upon oil and gas, as the petroleum products tops in the export list, followed by the aluminium. The Bahrain dinar is the second highest valued currency in the world. After this, we returned to Manama. By the time we had reached Manama, it was noon. Had a nice lunch at a restaurant and then started to the city center. The Bahrain city center is the largest mall in Bahrain and one of the popular tourist attractions too. We explored the mall for some time. There was a play arena inside the mall and I enjoyed a few rides there. Later, we visited my uncle's Rolex office and showroom and then returned home. En route, we had a short stop at the Bahrain Kerala Samajam, ending our second day. Third day, we drove to the Bahrain-Saudi Arabian border, which was an excellent trip to the King Fahad Causeway connecting Bahrain and Saudi Arabia across the Persian Gulf. It is a series of bridges and causeways linking these two countries at 25 kilometers. This project was built with the intention to nurture the bonding between Saudi and Bahrain kingdoms. The construction started in 1982 and was officially inaugurated in 1986. The border station was designed as two connected islands, with the west side designated as Saudi Arabia and the east as Bahrain. We climbed up the tower and got a nice sight of the border islands on both the sides. The islands house mainly the customs and immigration services on both the sides. It also consists of a mosque, garden, restaurants, and a coast guard tower. There were fast food restaurants in the tower, had light snacks from there, and returned to Manama. The next destination was the Seif Mall, which is the second largest mall in the Kingdom of Bahrain, located in the capital city of Manama, after which we went for shopping at the Manama Souk. It is a multi-ethnic shopping space and famous for Arabian sweets. From there, we returned home, ending yet another day. On the fourth day, we visited the Al Fateh Grand Mosque. It is one of the world's largest mosques and an icon of Islamic architecture and culture, encompassing 6,500 square meters with a capacity to accommodate over 7,000 worshippers at a time. It was built in 1987 and named after Ahmad al-Fateh, who was the first monarch of Bahrain and is regarded as the founder of Bahrain. The flooring was done with Italian marble and the chandelier is brought from Austria. The huge dome built on top of the Al Fateh Mosque is built entirely in fiberglass and holds the record of being the world's largest fiberglass dome. The walls are adorned with Kufic calligraphy. From the Grand Mosque, we drove to the National Museum of Bahrain, which is one of the prominent cultural landmarks and also one of the largest of its kind in West Asia. The building is located on an artificial peninsula with the facade embellished with a nice collection of big contemporary sculptures. The museum, opened in 1988, possesses a large treasury of archaeological artifacts covering around 5,000 years of Bahrain history, the Dilmun civilization, and also showcases the culture and lifestyle of the Bahrain's pre-industrial past. This is a restored 1932 Buick presented by the American government to Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa, who was a monarch of Bahrain. Also on view are thousands of years old, well-preserved potteries and jewelleries. The sprawling ancient history section comprises of the Hall of Graves, which primarily exhibits the burial mounds and skeletal remains. This showcases different burial practices of the Dilmun civilization and features an actual burial mound which was transported from its original site and was reassembled within the museum. This is an interesting tableau which depicts a scene from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Another noteworthy artifact is a collection of seals used for even long distance trading, which was even been excavated from Mesopotamia and Indus Valley. These different mannequins portray the customs and traditions of Bahrain prior to the discovery of oil in 1932 and its subsequent modernization. Aspects of everyday life such as childhood, marriage, fashion, local religious and medical practices, and the structure of traditional Bahraini houses are also exhibited. It also showcases traditional craftsmen and includes a section on pearl diving, a key component of the country's pre-oil economy. This was the last day in this island nation. Thank you for traveling with me. Please also watch my other travel vlogs. The links are given in the description below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also, please click the notification bell to get more videos.